8 dietary changes to start in 2024 to fight and prevent cancer and the evidence behind them. 1. Focus less on individual nutrients and more on a balanced diet. There is no magic supplement that can treat or prevent cancer. Our bodies just don't work that way. In nutrition, moderation is key, and it is better to focus on a more holistic and balanced approach to nutrition. Nowadays, people are turning to various dietary lifestyles like the alkaline, Paleolithic, ketogenic, vegan or vegetarian, and macrobiotic diets to fight cancer. There are pros and cons for each of these diets, but it is worth noting that only the alkaline and macrobiotic diets align with both the American Cancer Society and World Research Fund's dietary guidelines. More recently, researchers at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center conducted a review of numerous studies to compare a whole foods, plant-based diet to the ketogenic diet and their relationship to cancer. They found that currently available data favored plant-based diets over ketogenic diets as part of a lifestyle associated with reduced cancer risk. 2. Avoid ultra-processed foods. A large prospective study of 105,000 patients in France found that a 10% increase in consumption of ultra-processed foods resulted in a greater than 10% increased risk of cancer. Ultra-processed foods often contain additives, preservatives, and ingredients that are not commonly used in home cooking. Examples include soda, instant noodles and soups, candy, instant ready meals, sugary desserts, artificially flavored chips and snacks, and processed meats such as deli meat, salami, and meatballs or other transformed meat products with additional preservatives other than salt. 3. Choose healthier protein sources. Instead of red meats or processed meats, opt for higher consumption of legumes, fish, and poultry. Legumes such as beans, lentils, and chickpeas are not only a great source of protein, but also provide fiber and other important nutrients. Fish, particularly fatty fish like salmon, trout, and sardines, are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which have been shown to have anti-inflammatory properties. Poultry, such as chicken and turkey, can also be a good source of lean protein. The Mediterranean diet would be a good representation of this. It is characterized by an emphasis on whole, minimally processed foods and a balanced intake of various food groups. A large European study involving 25,000 found that participants with higher adherence to the Mediterranean diet, as assessed through a 10-point scale, showed a 12% reduction in cancer incidence for every 2-point increase in the adherence score. If you find information like this helpful, consider subscribing below to stay up to date on the latest content. 4. Eat a plant-based diet. A plant-based diet doesn't necessarily mean you don't eat meat or dairy. It is simply a way of eating where you focus on filling up on plant-based foods. This includes things like non-starchy vegetables, whole fruits, and nuts and seeds. These foods are rich in essential nutrients and antioxidants that support overall health and may help reduce the risk of cancer. They provide a wide range of vitamins, minerals, and phytochemicals that have been associated with cancer prevention. The Diet Patterns Methods Project, a large multi-center study of dietary pattern scoring indexes, looked at the Mediterranean diet, the DASH diet, the USDA Healthy Eating Index, and the Harvard Alternate Healthy Eating Index. These dietary guidance indexes have slightly differing features, but all share a foundation of emphasizing mostly plant foods. The study reported an 8 to 24% lower risk of death from cancer for patients with a higher healthy diet pattern score. 5. Eat more whole grains. Whole grains are rich in phytochemicals and dietary fiber and may lower colorectal cancer risk through modification of fatty acid production and lowered levels of pro-inflammatory bacterial species. A meta-analysis study found that total cancer mortality risk was 6% lower with each 3 servings of whole grains daily. Whole grains also accelerate gut transit time, thus reducing duration of exposure of the gut to carcinogens. 6. Choose healthier fats. When it comes to fats, choose unsaturated fats such as monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats. These healthy fats can be found in foods like avocados, nuts, and seeds. They provide essential fatty acids and have been associated with a reduced risk of certain types of cancer. On the flip side, it is important to avoid or minimize the consumption of saturated and trans fats, as well as excess calories. These types of fats and excess calories can contribute to weight gain and increase the risk of certain types of cancer. 7. Reduce sugar intake. Perhaps the most universally beneficial change for all diseases, reducing the intake of added sugar is also important in a cancer preventative diet. A common misconception is that sugars in foods and beverages directly feed cancer cells. Laboratory studies have shown that metabolism of glucose occurs more rapidly in cancer cells than in normal cells. Instead, high sugar intake has been linked to obesity and an increased risk of certain types of cancer. Opt for natural sources of sweetness, such as whole fruits, and limit the consumption of sugary beverages and processed foods that are high in added sugars. 8. Reduce or eliminate alcohol consumption. Alcohol consumption is the third major controllable cancer risk factor behind tobacco use and excess body weight. Alcohol consumption has been linked to the cause of at least 7 types of cancer. Broadly, the carcinogenic effects of ethanol found in alcoholic beverages include DNA and protein damage alterations, oxidative stress, inhibition of DNA repair and cell death, increased cell proliferation, and nutritional malabsorption. In 2014, it was estimated that alcohol consumption caused 5.6% of all incident cancer cases and 4% of all cancer deaths among males and females in the United States. By making these dietary changes, you can take important steps towards reducing your risk of cancer and promoting overall health. However, it is always best to consult with a healthcare professional or dietitian for personalized advice and guidance, as individual needs may vary. Things like food allergies and sensitivities will influence what dietary plan will work best for you. At the end of the day, it is important to consider a diet and lifestyle that is sustainable for you in the long term. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully these suggestions can help you live a healthier and happier life. Stay tuned for more information like this.